there. I am so excited that you are here. We are going to get right down to it. So let's talk about getting your health, fitness, or coaching business booked and paid. All right. My name is Z Slingsby. And years ago, I worked in corporate America. We're talking like 2009 to 2015. And I actually loved working in corporate. I was leading sales teams. We were doing really well. But I had a big passion for fitness, and I felt like I just didn't have the time to spend as much as I want, not only on my own health and fitness journey, but actually coaching others. I had gotten some fitness degrees, I was teaching fitness classes, and I was always having to fit it in outside of my schedule. So in 2015, I launched my online health coaching business. And then my husband and I actually bought a studio in town, a fitness studio. So we owned a practice. I was doing personal training, I was teaching classes, and I had the online component of my business. And we wanted to start our family. And I realized that teaching classes at 5 a.m. and closing the studio at 8 p.m., sometimes 9 p.m., just wasn't going to work for our long-term plans. And that's when I went all in with our online side of the business and we sold our portion of the fitness studio. At this point, I loved my online coaching business and it was truly thriving. However, I realized that my passion for sales and leadership was still there. And folks started coming up to me, wellness coaches, health and fitness coaches started coming up to me and saying, "Hey Z, can you tell us how to grow our business the way that you grew yours?" And I actually started coaching them and providing help totally for free at first because it just felt natural to help. And not long after, I decided I really want to formalize this and start coaching other coaches. For a long time, I was coaching multiple coaches from different backgrounds, and I built a seven figure each year business as a business strategy coach. And I developed quite a strong reputation. But my passion is and always will be health, fitness, and wellness coaches. And it is what I know the best. And so I decided I'm just going to simply focus on what I love and what I know. And here we are today. And I'm so excited to talk to you about how to fully book your offers, how to get booked and paid. Okay. This is the scale strategy that I use with all of my clients. And at first it might feel like, what the heck? But I'm going to break this down for you guys in today's call. These are the components that you need to be focusing on in your business to be able to scale, whether it's from $1,000 a month to 10 to 20, 30, 40. I have clients making all the way up to $200,000 months. And what we do is we have to identify the areas in your business today that have the greatest opportunity for your next 10K jump. So wherever you're at, I want to see what that next 10K jump is. If you try to focus on everything at once, what's going to happen is you're never really going to move forward and you're going to feel like you're spinning your wheels, which I bet some of you that are here today are probably feeling like that. So the first two buckets that we're going to look at are your content and lead gen. Now, content is a form of lead gen, but it doesn't belong in the lead gen bucket because content can affect a whole lot of your business, not just bringing in leads. I am going to talk about both today. You have a lead gen problem in your business if you currently are not getting leads regularly, and not just any leads, but leads that are high quality. And content, for a lot of clients that I meet with, they feel like content is heavy. They don't know what to post. And guess what? The algorithm in Instagram changes, or if you're using TikTok, almost every other day. And it feels like once you kind of find a method, you can't even keep up. And so we're going to talk about both today. Number one, this is an economic principle. I did not make this up. It's called the 95-5 rule. And it says that only 5% of your target customers are actively looking to buy at any given time. The remaining 95, while they are present and they might be engaging, are not actually ready to buy today. So we have to ask ourselves, what can we do to get that 5% to choose you? Because we didn't say that they're going to choose you. We just said they're ready to buy. And then what can we do to keep the 95% engaged so that when they are ready to buy, they choose you? We're going to talk about that. There are three types of content that you can post, right? There's tons of pillars and there's all sorts of like carousel and reel, but really they should all fall into three buckets: tofu, mofu, and bofu. All right. So top of funnel content is when someone does not realize they have a problem until now. They just realized they have a problem that maybe has a solution. They may have had the problem before, but they didn't even realize it was a thing. They sort of just accepted it. I'll give you an example. Let's say a woman is going through menopause and her doctor is like, yep, it's all natural. Everything's normal. And she's like, okay, I just have to accept it. And then she sees a post from someone who's a menopause coach. And the post says something along the lines of, these are some signs that menopause might not be your only problem, or your hormones are out of whack, even if your doctor says everything is fine. And she's reading through it and she's like, oh my gosh, maybe I do have a problem. Everything isn't actually fine. I shouldn't be feeling like this. You just alerted her that there's a problem. She may not be ready to pull out her credit card that day. She may be, but she may not be, right? But she's open to the idea of listening. She's like, okay, you got my attention. That's what a tofu post does. Mofu is the middle, where she already knows there's a problem. She is kind of thinking there should be a solution. She'd like to find the solution. She's not convinced you're the solution. And so in Mofu content, we need to build trust. And there's a couple ways that you build trust. You're going to build trust through either storytelling or client testimonials or authority content. And then Bofu is the bottom. She's like, take my money. I am so ready. I need the right coach. And we just need to make sure that you're the one she picks, not the other one that Instagram just showed her. Here's what happens. If you're posting tons of tofu content and you're educating your audience on how this is the problem, but you're not actually activating her to buy, Instagram says, oh, you're into this content. Let me show you your competitor. Instagram just revealed your competitor. Your competitor's doing a better job of the trust building and the actual bottom funnel content. And she ends up moving forward with someone else, all because you alerted her to the problem. So we want to find a way to keep people inside our funnel. So when they're ready to buy, they buy from you. This is one of my clients, Melissa, who's been working with me for a while. And when she first came to me, she had so much top of funnel content, but she wasn't making money. And so the top of funnel was bringing tons of great people into her world. She was getting a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, but the conversion wasn't happening. If this is you, if you feel like, yes, my posts are out there, I'm getting people interested, I'm getting people in my world, but I'm not making money, I'm not signing clients the way I should be, then you are probably doing a lot of tofu and you're missing the mark on the mofu and bofu. Okay. So now I'm going to wrap in the offer suite because it's great to understand the right kind of content that brings in leads. But now we want to talk about what does your offer suite actually look like? Because your offer suite actually plays a big role in you making money. With my clients, what we do first is we're going to nail down the lead gen and the content. If these are already tied with a beautiful bow and you're like, I'm making consistent minimum 10K months, then we're going to go to your offer suite. You cannot afford to compete on price. I want you to repeat after me. I cannot afford to compete on price. Here's why. There's always someone out there who's willing to go lower than you. Always. There's always going to be someone who's going to compete more. You need to compete on something that you are in a category of one, right? And you also cannot afford to replace clients every 30 days. You need to keep clients in your world and give them this incredible long-term transformation. Right over here, one-on-one coaching and group coaching are the two main offers that I focus on with my clients. 99% of the time, a low ticket membership I'm not a fan of these. There's very few instances where these are actually healthy and generating decent income. So one-on-one and group, and then the contract length is what's going to determine the sustainability of your business. You don't want to have to sign clients every 30 days or even every 3 months. 3 months goes by so fast. So extending that contract length slightly can make a huge difference. All right. So if you're not at 5K per month already, so my clients come to me are usually around 1,000 a month to 10,000, 20, 30, and we're just going to keep bumping you up to the next level. If you're currently not making any money, okay, I'm not ready to work with you yet, but I can still get you there by giving you some tips. You need to have an offer. If you're at 1 to 2K, this is for you as well. You need to go all in on a one-on-one offer. One-on-one is going to get you to that 5K. Now, I do have clients that come to me and they're at $1,500 a month and they just have one-on-one, and then we double down on that same offer. We're not going to create new offers yet. We're going to double down with your content and lead gen strategy and get more clients into this offer. You have to be so hyper specific on who you help here. With one-on-one, you have to pick that person that really wants to work with you because you are coaching their you are their specialty. You're the specialty coach for them. Okay. The trick here though is not to get stuck doing one-on-one forever, or else your calendar is going to feel really heavy. At that point, we can scale you from 10K, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to, I do have clients in the 100K range. Is that common? No, that's not common, but I do. But we do want to get you to that consistent 10, 20, 30, whatever that next bump is for you. Okay. We're going to do this with your group offer. Some of you may already have one and some of you may not. This is a mindset shift. You have to know when you have a group offer that the result in the group is just as good as one-on-one. Group offers are not a downgrade, and it is so important for you to know that. Your one-on-one now becomes your anchor offer, meaning we don't really want everyone to pick one-on-one. Maybe a couple here and there, but the majority of the people, we want them to go into your group, okay? And you want to really believe and create an environment that you believe your clients in the group are getting the same, if not better than one-on-one, okay? Now, is this going to be a program that's scalable? Can you put 50 people in here, or is it just high proximity, 10 spots, and that's it? That's for you to decide. I do work with my clients to help them decide what feels good. And then are you going to have evergreen versus launch? Evergreen means my doors are open all year, which I usually recommend, but it's case by case. Launch style means we're opening, we're coaching these people, and then we're closing, and then we're doing another round. All right. My client Bree's story. I want to tell her story because we used her offer suite to help scale her business. Bree first came to me. She was doing only one-on-one. And actually at first we did work on her content and her lead gen, but that moved pretty quickly and she was able to get to 30 one-on-one clients. That's right, 30 one-on-one clients. At that point, she was making good money, but her life did not feel more relaxed. And so we decided to launch her scalable group offer. At first it was a membership and she realized, I don't love this, and instead made it a 12-week program. Loved the 12-week, but it still felt like it was going by too fast. So she changed it to a 3 and a 6 month, and then it became a 6 and a 12. And today her program is rocking and rolling as a 6 or 12 month, and she has recurring revenue. I'm recording this in December, so all the way to April of 2026, depending on when you're watching this, she's got 6 months of rolling revenue, and she's starting to actually have 12 months of revenue, which is just amazing. I want you to picture for a moment looking at your cash tracker and thinking, I have income coming in until a year from today. Like, how cool would that be? How does that feel? All right. The next piece that we look at is your sales process. So let's talk sales. Do you like to sell? How do you like to buy? What sales tactics are you not down for? I'll give you an example. Cold DMs. I am not down to send cold DMs, and I don't tell my clients to. Do you think you're good at selling, or do you feel like it just doesn't feel natural to you? All right, I want to talk about the difference between marketing and selling. Marketing is when you share on social media, you share what you have. Selling is actually when you're closing. You're like, this is what it is. Do you want to buy it? Marketing is all the stuff you do when people are choosing to look at your page, but you're not actually in a two-way conversation. Now, this is the most important piece I'm going to share today, which is DM combos. How many of you get a message like this? Me, I definitely want to join one of these. Will we learn more about this? It's just like someone who's very interested. You get a message from someone who's interested, and what do you think? I don't know what to say. Oh my God, I'm frozen. This happens a lot of times. I see my clients struggle at first when they get these and they haven't learned how to close in the DMs. So I'm going to teach you the method that I teach them that works like gold. The first thing I want you to do, you're going to hand them the mic. No matter what they ask you, how much is your program? When does it start? I'm interested in signing up. You're going to say, amazing. Real quick, hand them the mic. Can you tell me what's going on with you? If you jump into answering their question and you tell them about the program and the pricing, do you know what message that sends? It sends the message that you are willing to sell to anyone. You'll just take anybody. And they don't feel like you even care what they're going through. You're like, here's the prescription. The truth is, you do need to ask questions to make sure that you really are the right fit. So you're going to say, tell me what's going on with you. Okay, that makes sense. Well, explain to me why you're struggling, because it seems like you're doing a lot of good stuff. What about this? What about this? Become a master investigator. If you decide you can help them, I want you to say so. I want you to make the recommendation. And then I want you to say, okay, I absolutely think I can help you. I'm definitely the right coach for you. You belong in my 6-month program, XYZ. I think it's perfect. And it's definitely going to get you from where you're at right now to here. You know, if you're willing to do the work and show up, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. How much is it? It's X amount per month. You're just going to say it. Now, the mindset you bring to the program. This is just like being on a date and the guy across the dinner table acts like all he cares about is getting you in bed. You sense it, you know it, and you're just like, ick, right? You cannot approach these calls like your whole goal is just to sell them. Even if you don't say it, but you're thinking it, it's ick. What I want you to do instead is make the purpose of the call, I just want to find out if I'm a good enough fit. Am I the right coach? Can I actually help you? Am I the person that's going to solve this puzzle with your body or whatever it is that you're struggling with? And if I am, heck yes, I'm going to tell you I am. And if I'm not, then I don't want to work with you because I don't want to take someone on that I can't actually help. If you approach it with that mindset, they will sense it and they will sell themselves on you versus you having to sell them. Now, there is another way you can sell. You can hand them the mic and become a mini investigator, not asking as many questions. And if you think it's a good fit, you can say something like, hey, I think this could be a really good opportunity I think I can help you, but I'd like to recommend that we hop on a call first. How does that sound? Do you want to book something? You can close to a clarity call. You guys, here's what I want to say because coaches have so many opinions on this. You want to sell in the DMs? Sell in the DMs. You want to sell in a clarity call? Sell in a clarity call. Do what fits your life and your schedule. I can show you how to close in each one. I love both methods. I think they can both be effective, and I think it really depends on a lot of factors. Where do you feel strongest? What do you have time for? All these factors matter. I used to do tons of clarity calls, and then my business grew, and I can't do as many as I used to. Started closing in the DMs. Then I actually brought a closer on board to my team. They both work. You have to figure out which one it is and actually learn how to do it well. So whichever option you choose, follow the script. Now, once you book a call, you're like, what do I do on the call? You guys thought you were just getting one freebie, you're getting two freebies. See this right here? This is going to show you my video on how to run slam dunk clarity calls. You're welcome. All right. The last piece that I look at, which we're not going to talk about today, is growing with leverage. Co-coaches, setters, closers, or online business managers, VAs. This is something I only do in my higher level program, and you have to be at a certain place in your business if you're really looking to expand in this direction. And I would say that's like really consistent 25 to 50K months. Anything above 25, we can start looking at adding co-coaches and setters. But really, if you're not there yet, you're not going to want to start investing into team members, right? The other 4 buckets is what I look at inside of my other programs, where we're kind of getting you launched up to that 10K mark, 20K mark, 25K mark monthly. Here's what I want you guys to do right now. I want you to click below, and I want you to click that link to book a strategy call with one of my team members. I want you to book the strategy call because this is going to allow us to actually look at your business and say, okay, these are the levers that you need. These are the specific levers that are going to make that next bump in your income possible. So don't leave this page, just scroll right down, and I want you to click that link and get on our calendar. If you don't find a time that works, I want you to email us at admin@zslingsby and just let us know what your schedule is, and we will get you on the calendar. So excited to get to know you and chat with you.